Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this cute little Storybook Friends Easter treat holder that holds a Ghirardelli chocolate. I've used the Storybook Friends bundle of products found in our mini catalog. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. I'm going to start with the stamping for this project, so I'm going to bring in my little bunny first and ink them up and stamp it on my basic white cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in my sentiment panel here, and I am going to ink that up with the Easter greetings and stamp it right in the center. And I can actually use these little squares kind of as a guide as to where I want to stamp so I can get it nice and straight, since I can see through the stamp. I've got that done and I'm ready to start coloring. So I'm going to bring in my watercolor pencils and I am going to color my little rabbit here the way I'd like. I'm going to lightly lay in color. I'm going to press a little harder where I want the color to be darker and a little less so where I want it to be light. I'm going to add his little face here, and then I'm going to put my blue on his tie, and I'm doing a fairly dark shade of that so that I can coordinate with my designer series paper. And then I'm going to bring in my early espresso and add a little color to the body. Now you can do this one section at a time or all at once. It depends on what you're comfortable with. I'm going to do this all at one time so it's a little faster since we're doing video. I'm using a circular motion so that the color kind of blends a little bit easier, just like I'll do on my blender pen. So I'm going to pick up the blender pen and bring in a scratch piece of grid paper. I'm doing that because I'll need to clean my blender pen in between colors and want something to simply scribble on. So I'm going to do the ears first, spreading that color around, and the little nose where I added that pink. And I've cleaned my brush, and let's see, I'm going to do my blue bow tie next. And like I said, I wanted a nice pop of blue there, so I did it fairly bold, and then I'm going to smooth my early espresso out and finish. I'm going to add a little bit of color here and here and just smooth that pencil as I go. And as you can see, this is just quick and easy, and of course once it dries, if you want to, you can add more color simply by adding a little more pencil. And just to add a little shadow to my tail, I'm going to take that blender pen and run over the tail quickly. So there you go, I've got my bunny done, and I'm going to move on to my treat holder. I'm ready to score my treat holder, so I'm going to place the long edge against the top, and I'm going to score at the 3.5 and 4-inch mark. I just need those two score lines. Now that I have my treat holder scored, I'm ready to add my designer series paper. Now these sides are even, so it doesn't matter which end you add it on, but what this is going to do is allow me to see where I want to place my die cut for the candy, so it can slip into my holder. I'm going to line this up with the edge, like so, and I'm ready to die cut. Now I'm going to place this just below the sentiment here, leaving a little bit of space for my decoration to go. And at the same time I'm at the die cut machine, I'm going to cut out my little bunny here using the coordinating die. Okay, I've taken my die and cut out the little shape, and I wanted to show you this. It's got this pretty little stitched edging to it, so this is a great set of dies. I'm about 1/4 of an inch down from that designer series paper, giving it a little bit of room for the chocolate to go. And I've also cut my rabbit out while I was at the die cut machine, and I wanted to remind you I've got this fun little mask technique so you get a perfect bunny with equal margins every time. So you can check for the PDF link to that YouTube video. So let's get building our treat holder. The first thing I'm going to do is score my treat holder here on, or I should say burnish my treat holder on these score lines. going to open it up and I'm going to add a piece of tear tape to the top here. And I'm also going to add one about an inch down, or where the designer series paper ends, right above it. There you go. I've got that finished. I can burnish and remove the tear and tape strips and adhere. And I'm simply going to line up that top edge and the sides and then burnish. And you can flip that over, burnish with your fingers, and as you can see, you've got this fun little tent. I'm ready to decorate it now, so I'm going to bring in this beautiful petal pink ribbon that goes with this suite and place it around the treat holder and tie. And I'm going to make a little bow here. There we go. I've moved it in place and I'm going to trim the ends and trim it off the bolt. Now that I have that done, I can tuck my little Ghirardelli square in. This is a tight fit, but it'll go in just fine and peek out. So I'm going to bring in my little bunny now, and I'm going to decide where I want it, and I'm going to add some dimensionals to his back. I'm going to add one here, and I think I'm going to add one, let's see, onto the full-size dimensionals are a little big, so I'm going to bring in my mini and add one onto the side here of his hip, and then I'm going to remove the backings and adhere. Just placing them like so. So there you go, a quick and easy Easter treat using the Storybook Friends stamp set and coordinating dies. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.